to the Charlotte Hornets. And boy, they really got humiliated at home. They got flat out dominated in that game, guys.
And the glaring factor for me in that loss was the poor rebounding. I mean, they got destroyed on the glass.
Yeah, they were outworked. I mean, it's plain and simple. To rebound the ball, you got to work. You got to do your work early. You got to be physical. You got to go after the ball. And you can't give up. And they just didn't work hard enough.
So a look at the starters for the Wizards. Wall and Beal together in the backcourt. Pierce and Nene filling up the forward spots. And it's Gortat in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
John Wall is becoming very efficient running the pick and roll. He's got a nice pull-up from the right elbow if the defender decides to sag off or go under the screen. And if they play up on him, he can blow right by him. So because of his finishing ability, that's a tough cover.
Now, here is Gortat, poked away. And so it looks like the Wizards will retain possession. The Knicks making a switch here. Shumpert's checked in.
Substitution for the Knicks. Iman Shumpert.
Here's Pierce. 6 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, the one. Long distance three is buried. Pierce has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. New York with the ball. It's a 5-point game. And Wall has some good big men to work with running that pick and roll. Nene, very mobile. Steve, a great finisher.
Yeah, and of course, Mark Gortat spent a couple years running the pick and roll with Steve Nash in Phoenix. So, you know, he's had some pointers for Wall, too. All in all, you love to see the chemistry that has developed between all those players.
Here's Wall, following the score by New York. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Well, an illegal screen is one of the toughest calls for the official to make.
You know, I agree with you. You've got to have some sympathy for the referees when they have to make calls like that, but they get paid well, and they're the best in the business, so they can handle it.
Now here's Shumpert. Dallenberg sets a screen for Shumpert. Washington with the rebound. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
Well, they were lucky it wasn't a blowout because they didn't put forth a very strong performance in that one.
Yeah, they just couldn't find anything to work for them, Steve. No matter what approach they used, it was futile.
Paul Pierce, at one time a franchise talent and an elite two-way player, now a self-prescribed role player. He's a heck of a good one, too. A great scorer, shoot, drive, and get to the line. Well, that one miss shouldn't be too costly because he was able to make it a two-possession lead, at least.
Now here's Shumpert. Stoudemire with a screen on Wall. Back to Smith. Anthony, the pass to Smith from 18 feet away. And Stoudemire with the basket on the assist by Smith. Stoudemire's got his first basket of the night. And Paul Pierce has always loved those elbows.
Yeah, and he's such a good ball handler and so crafty in getting to his spots and able to put the defense on its heels. Not overly athletic. You think about Paul Pierce, and he's never one to overwhelm you with athleticism. But, man, can he play some basketball.
Wall attacking. The shot no good. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's his first foul. Knicks have gone 2 of 3 here to start off the game. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Shumpert against Wall. Shumpert, no good. The Wizards with the lead. And now here comes Wall, leading the break. And he finishes the break with a lay-in.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
I spoke briefly with Randy Whitman. We talked about Amari Stoudemire and what he brings to the table as an opponent. The one thing Coach was most impressed with was how physically gifted he is as a big man, saying, you see him get up and down the floor out there. He moves like a guy half his size. He's just a freak of nature.
All right, Doris, thanks. And here's Wall, following the three-pointer by Carmelo Anthony. Wall dishes to Nene. Nene right side. And that one's good. Nene's got his first bucket in this one. Knicks trail by 3.
Washington had its best season in recent memory this last year, and a lot of their wins came from how fast they were out of the gate. They always seem to start on point.
Now, here's Dallenberg. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Anthony up on top. Pierce covering. Anthony against Pierce. Stoudemire setting the pick for Anthony. There's 1:38 left in the first. And he gets it to go. Anthony's got 5. Washington was a fast starting team last year. Top 5 in first quarter scoring, and overall speed of the team could catch, I thought at times, opponents Clark off guard.
And that speed is the key. I mean, you look at Wall and certainly Bradley Beal, John Wall. Pace of play very much something they emphasized and put pressure on the opposing team with the way they play.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
Well, we now know that Carmelo Anthony was battling through a torn rotator cuff and a torn labrum in the 2013 playoffs. Surgery seemed likely, and he would have missed the start of last season, but instead he went for a combination of rest and rehab, and that did the trick, and he seemed really healthy all year.
Getting ready for the Wizards. Kevin Serafin is checked in for Gortat. Humphries comes in for Nene. Martell Webster, he's checked in for Paul Pierce. And Miller's subbed in for John Wall. Now here is Miller, the 15-footer, and the Wizards getting another bucket right there. And for Carmelo, he took a risk in not opting for surgery on that left shoulder.
Yeah, great to see that it healed without the surgery. His upper body can take a lot of punishment because he is a physical player. He invites contact. As a scorer, he gets to the line as much as he does. So nice to see that he'll be healthy, and he'll probably put in about 25 to 27 a night, which has been his norm throughout his career.
That one wide left. Wizards leading by 3. Here's Beal. No luck. And New York the other way now. This their first look at this year's Washington squad.
Yeah, a very familiar opponent. They've played these guys an awful lot over the years, and this is the first of their 4 get-togethers this season.
They get it back. And Shumpert kicks to Smith. Stoudemire with a screen on Miller. Here's Smith. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
Well, that's part of what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Webster with the screen for Miller. There's Beal with the 3, kept alive. Webster, the feed to Serafin. The baseline jumper goes down.
Assist goes to Martell Webster.
Here's Shumpert. There's the buzzer, and not much scoring at all through the first quarter of play. Washington out in front, up by 3. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.
On Tap Monday, November 10th, Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers. Be there.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
Solid first quarter for this club. They came out strong, and they put together some nice momentum here.
Steve, I like the looks they've gotten on offense. A lot of good ones.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So the Wizards 5 right now. Beal and Webster out on the perimeter. Kevin Seraphin is out there with Humphries. And it's Miller in at the point guard position. Taken away by Anthony. He lobs it up. And the jam by J.R. Smith.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make in a close game. A potential momentum builder.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Thank you, Kevin. As everyone knows, Amar'e Stoudemire has had to battle back from his share of numerous injuries, and he switched to a vegan diet in order to help stay healthy. He said it was tough, and when asked which foods he missed the most, he said, "I love chicken, and I love Chilean sea bass. I missed it, but I wanted to stay strong." Guys?
Interesting. Thanks, Doris. J.R. Smith 2 years ago, 6th man of the year, Steve, and he signed a nice multi-year extension.
Yeah, but his struggles in the playoffs were a sign of things to come. He was suspended to start last season, and knee surgery in the offseason really pushed him back in terms of conditioning and rhythm.
The Wizards making a switch here. Gortat's checked in for Kevin Seraphin. Blair comes in for Chris Humphries. Pierce is checked in for Martell Webster. And John Wall subbed in for Bradley Beal. It's tipped. It's stolen by Wall. By himself. Oh!
Look out!
Watch out below. Wow. Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
Man, I like that. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in, but I say put as much as you can on the finish and get your teammates going.
And the issues for Smith just continued last season, and they were self-inflicted. You know, after untying Sean Marion's shoes during the free throw, the league warned him. And then he did it again the very next game to a $50,000 fine as a result. Boy, that's a lot of cheese to give up for some buffoonery.
And a whole new group out on the floor right now for the Knicks. Shot clock at 6. New York needs to get off a shot. Here's Hardaway. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Hardaway's got the lead up to 1 now for the Knicks.
And the Knicks frustrated with Smith's antics. It didn't seem like he learned from his fine. A little over a month later, he intentionally tugged down Vince Carter's headband during the game. He was asking for trouble, but the league let him slide. Paul Pierce, a 16-year veteran, and last season his first not in a Celtics uniform. It took some getting used to, both for him and for us.
Well, you just had to love the reception for Pierce and KG in their first game back in Boston. No surprise there. The fans there, some of the best in the league, and they showered those guys with tremendous love, cheers, and appreciation. Well deserved for what they've contributed as Celtics and certainly as NBA.
And the first one at the line is good. And, Steve, no less than the great Celtic John Havlicek dubbing Paul Pierce as the greatest one-on-one scorer in Celtics history.
Yeah, the 10th overall pick back in 1998. What a find. I mean, you could argue that he and Dirk Nowitzki were the 2 best players drafted that night.
Here's Prihiona. Smith with a screen on Pierce. It's deflected. Gortat with the steal. Paul Pierce with the slam.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And it's the Knicks with the ball, following the bucket by the Wizards. Hardaway, no good.
You just assume he's going to knock those down when he's as open as he was there.
Can't connect from short range.
pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
Bargnani is screen on Miller. Outside Hardaway. Now Wall. Left side Pierce. And Blair kicks to Pierce. Pass to Wall. It's Pierce on the wing. 6 to shoot. Right side Pierce. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Pierce has got 10 points.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
Hardaway kicks to Prigioni. Pass to Early. There's the dish to Prigioni. To the left side wing. Left side Hardaway. Early, the pass to Smith. There's the pick. There's the pass to Early. He feeds it to Prigioni. Passes it to Early. Smith kicks to Hardaway. Bargnani is screen on Miller. Here's Hardaway, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Washington calls timeout. And as we get a break here, important for the teams to go over their own strategy. And for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. So put out your best effort as the game wears on, guys.
You know, it's amazing when you're playing during a season, if you go through a stretch where you don't hydrate, it can have a major physical toll on you. Your body wears down quicker, you don't recover as fast, and that can really take its toll over the course of an 82-game season.
So for the Wizards, Nene comes in for DeJuan Blair, and it's Webster in for Pierce.
And we get a peek back now at last season for Marcin Gortat. How he ranked at 11th in field goal percentage, 13th in blocks, and he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league as well. So this is a guy who had a lot of double-figure nights on the glass.
And like you said, Steve, I mean, his field goal percentage was extremely high. And that's a credit to him and his teammates. They got him the ball in good scoring positions, and he took care of the rest.
Here's Prigioni after the basket by Washington. Screen by Smith. Hardaway dishes to Bargnani. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
You know, things were looking up for Bargnani last year in his first run with New York. He seemed to be playing with a bounce in his step and really had found a niche there, but an injury really made things tough for him right around the halfway point of the year.
And that injury for Bargnani, he tore the ligament in his left elbow. Missed time with that.
And the Knicks need him to be productive. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, remember, they traded away 3 draft picks, Steve Novak and Chris Copeland. So they gave up quite a bit to get him, and they need him to produce.
Now here is Hardaway, following the miss by John Wall. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
Jason Smith is a really good player, but he's had some tough luck with injuries recently, between the torn labrum in his shoulder back in 2013 and then knee issue last season. He's only managed to play 82 games over the last 2 years.
And Jason Smith, a valuable pick-and-pop big man who's also a strong finisher inside. Some nice versatility offensively.
I'd agree, and defensively, he's able to get off of his feet and block some shots, too. So he's a really quality big guy.
Hardaway passes to Prigioni. Here's Early. Kicks it to Hardaway. Bargnani is screen on Beal. Dishes it to Bargnani. Offensive rebound. Smith the pass to Hardaway. Smith with a screen on Beal. Hardaway kicks to Bargnani. New York, no good that time either. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Wizards lead by 3. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, I'm here with Paul Pierce. And Paul, in a tough matchup like this, how important was it for you to get established in the first half?
Well, I have to be aggressive offensively and defensively for us. Keep the pressure on my drives and my in-between game.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
That's a good quarter from Paul Pierce. 10 points, and he's made 3 shots at the foul line.
No, that's important. You get to the foul line, any team, when you can outscore your opponent from the foul line, it's critical, and he's trying to do his part right there.
Knicks trail by 3. Smith is out there with Bargnani. Then it's Pablo Prigioni. Then there's Hardaway, and it's early in at the 3. That's Derek Fisher's 5 as we get going into the second half. Here's Prigioni. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off. You know, last year the Knicks played at a very slow tempo, 29th actually in the NBA in pace. And at times when things slowed down in the half court, that's when they really struggled to score.
Now here's Wall. And Beal kicks to Nene. Plays it up and banks it in.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
Yeah, that was your game, Clark. Pound it inside and take the ball right to the defense.
That's what I tried to do, man. I knew my limitations.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, Derek Fisher, fresh off his final season as a player, takes over as head coach of the New York Knicks. He'd always envisioned taking a break after his retirement, spending time with his family. But the opportunity with the Knicks was far too good to pass up. Now he takes the reins of one of the league's marquee franchises. We're anxious to watch him work, Kevin.
Certainly a wealth of experience and leadership from his decades as a player. Thanks, Doris. Now with pace, as you were saying, Clark, the Knicks would try and slow it down themselves, as you said, but that really didn't help them within the conference.
And, you know, the Knicks went 500 against the rest of the East, but really with the talent they had, you would have expected them to do better.
And the Wizards with possession. The Knicks making the shot. 5 to shoot. Pierce dishes the Wall. And they immediately answer back with the dunk at the other end. Nice hops and determination that time, Clark, to get to the rim.
We know he can bounce, and right there an example of how dangerous he is when he's got a path to the hoop.
And you love the versatility, guys. Being a point guard, and in this situation, they tack on.
Ridiculous. Tore it down that time. Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, you know, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Still, I mean, it's startling that he'd even try that right now.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Prigioni, covered by Wall. Right side, Hardaway. Bargnani, a screen on Beal. Hardaway. And Pierce pulls it down.
Now, it would have been fun to see him pull it off, but, you know, you really need the points here. Just put it in the basket.
Tim Hardaway Jr.'s game pretty different from his father's. Tim Sr., of course, famed for his UTEP two-step, otherwise known as the killer crossover, and Junior's is a different game.
He is a different game, but he's going to have an effective and long career. Senior was also only a 6-foot point guard. Junior is a 6'6" shooting guard. While he does have some handles, Junior I'm speaking of, he's more of a long-range bombardier thus far, and also I think has the potential to be pretty good defensively going forward.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
You know, growing up, Tim Hardaway Jr. was really pushed hard by his dad. They would get into arguments about the game, and Tim Jr. said it almost pushed him away from basketball entirely. But in the end, Dad.
Look out, man! You know, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult. while they're trailing?
Yeah, but still, you know what? A magnificent move to the rim.
Agreed.
Guys, look, I don't know what the score is. That's the play we're all going to remember from this game.
Smith outside, looking for Shumpert. He gets it there.
What a pass, and then the layup was a bit of a circus move.
Oh, so smooth.
Well, you know what? He could have fouled that up going for the big slam. I thought that was a nice job just taking the layup.
Miller kicks to Beal. Humphrey sets a pick for Beal. Humphreys the pass to Beal. Clock at 6. There's the killer two-handed slam. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Here's Anthony. Rebound by the Wizards. And here's the fast break. Beal leading the way. Miller outside. Humphrey sets a pick for Miller. Blair the screen. Beal dishes to Blair. Off the pick. And it's rejected. They get it back. Here's Pierce. Buries it down low. And now it's an 8-point Washington lead.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. That's a good strategy when you're on top.
Outside Anthony. Dallenberg with the screen on Pierce. Anthony kicks to Dallenberg. With the shot. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Dallenberg. 9 points for Carmelo Anthony.
Well, you know, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. And his teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far.
Blair a screen on Anthony. Pierce the pass to Blair. And the Wizards getting another bucket right there.
Very effective screen to set up the jumper. That was the key to that play.
Knicks trail by 8. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Now here's Shumpert. Smith outside. Feeds it to Carmelo. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Well, probably the right play defensively. If you can't get the block, send them to the free throw line. Don't give them an easy 2.
No easy buckets inside. Force free throws and work to keep them out of the lane next time around.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Well, you can count on him, can't you? He seems to knock down free throws consistently all game long.
From midcourt, and the miss. The third quarter comes to a close. It's the Wizards. They lead by 6. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway.
The NBA season blasts off. Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers go up against Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors this Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Pacific.
And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, this had to be the choice. It was an absolutely sensational feat, putting him way up there above the rim so that only his teammate could catch it. And not only does he do it, but he powers it down from there.
Yeah, the timing of these plays are just phenomenal.
No question.
So the Wizards 5 right now. Webster and Nene, they're the forwards. Andre Miller is out there with Wall, and it's Serafin in at the center. Offensive rebound. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Wizards?
From mid-range, it's been a very nice game for them. I mean, they've been finding the bottom of the net a lot.
And I'll tell you, the other thing that's been a factor is the transition game. They're scoring a lot of points on the fast break.
Anthony down low. He's against Miller. And Anthony gets it to go.
They're doing their best to erase the deficit here with some smart passes and some good shooting. I mean, those two things go hand in hand. you're going to make shots, then the passes have to be on target and on time.
Wall attacking. The putback. And Shumpert pulls it down. Knicks trail by 7. Dallenberg sets a screen for Shumpert. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Smith kicks to Anthony. Takes the 13-footer. Can't get it to go. And it's Washington the other way. Nene outside. Miller with the ball. Now Anthony defending. Nene against Stoudemire. And the shot's good from Nene. And here is Shumpert. Stoudemire with a screen on Wall. Smith kicks to Anthony. And the 3 off target.
Very little success for him behind the arc today. Just 1 3-pointer in the first half and still none in the second.
Fast break. Here they come. From deep 3-point range. Again, the miss by Anthony.
Things have kind of gone south for him here in the quarter.
And here we go. Washington fast break. Miller with the ball.
Oh, perfect opportunity to finish the break, and he blows it.
Steve, you have to be able to finish off plays like that. It's a must.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
Well, Carmelo Anthony's free agent decision subject to much speculation and hand-wringing in New York over the last season, but in the end, he decided to remain with the Knicks, much to the relief of the hometown faithful.
And for Melo, the decision to return to New York made more challenging by their struggles last season.
Yeah, you know, Melo is comfortable, I think, playing in the bright lights in the big city where he grew up until age 8. I don't think he shies away from that. Actually, he handles it quite well, in my opinion. It's not easy to play in New York. But the Knicks had to convince him that they could win going forward in order for him to return.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Jason Smith, he's checked in for Dallenberg. Bargnani comes in for Amari Stoudemire. Hardaway's checked in for J.R. Smith. And it's Calderon in for Amari Sheppard. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Derek Fisher was giving to his team. He talked mainly about giving them a different look defensively and dropping more bodies into the paint, saying, listen, they're eating us up on the inside, and we need to do whatever it takes to stop it. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Doris. Wizards leading by 7. Outside, Wall. Outside, Webster. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Wall's got 4 assists in the game.
That's been their bread and butter in the second half. They've really knocked down their long-range shots.
Well, and as hot as they've been, there's no need to change their offense. Just continue to play the way you're playing. You're going to get open looks.
Gortat inside. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
Bradley Beal's checked in for Webster. Calderon dishes to Bargnani. Hardaway kicks to Anthony. 6 to shoot. Smith the pass to Anthony. Over Pierce. And it's Anthony again. And missing.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Well, they've played terrific basketball at both ends, and that's why this lead is totally out of control.
Really been an almost flawless game for him, Steve. No doubt about it.
Out left to the wing. 1:35 left in the fourth. Stolen by Pierce. Moving it up. Wall against Hardaway. Here's Nene. That's good. Nene's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, this is going to end in a lopsided victory, obviously. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness and the ability to close. You really have to give it up for the Wizards.
Clark, this was a physical game.
Yeah, but the awareness they had offensively to penetrate really was the difference.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
Well, they can chalk this win up, but things are far from settled between these two teams. They'll see each other 3 more times before the season is over.
And they say familiarity breeds contempt. As they get to know each other a little better, you imagine things will get heated up. Tonight was only chapter 1.
And you have to look back at this and see what a huge game it's been for John Wall. And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone on his team on offense.
Calderon dishes to Bargnani. Back to Calderon. Bargnani, a screen on Miller. Calderon kicks to Bargnani. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
You know, the defense didn't exactly try to fight around that screen, and that's why it turned into the easy basket.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Miller, the pass to Serafin. Takes the 13-footer. Bargnani grabs the board. New York's gone 0-3 so far in the 4th quarter from long range. Here's Anthony. Out to Hardaway. The offensive rebound. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.